That came through now, going through all this stuff and going through coaching. And that first weekend of coaching, they said, you don't have to be who you think you have to be. You could be whoever you want. And it was about first working on myself before I can work on others. And I think God was sending me a message when my wife came and told me I'm getting divorced. Like, oh, you want to be a coach? Well, first figure yourself out.
Yeah, that could be true. But like you say though, sometimes, and you're not, I know that's hard, especially when you're going through things, and you love someone, and you've been through the fire, and you've been through the trials and tribulations,
and you think you could get through anything together.
Yeah, and then when that time comes where it's just like, you know what, I don't want to be with you no more. I don't love you more. When everything is down, like you say, when everything is down, it's like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, here go another obstacle. I took my car being repossessed, house in foreclosure, and all these other things. But this one kind of stings a little bit more than
no question
all those other things that I have been through.
No question about it. No question about it. It really hurt. And as much as I probably could say I knew it was coming, until it really happens, you don't really believe it.
Yeah.
But that's why when I went to coaching and I started to understand who I was, I started to understand why she felt like, okay, it was time. Yeah. Because as a guy who had a short temper, I would lecture her, and I would lecture whoever was around me until they saw my side point of view, and they said, okay, you're right. But you know what? It's not about being right, because you'll fight till the end and you'll lose. So you're right. Big deal. Yeah. Take that and go to the bank. What's it going to do for you?
so they'll just tell you you're right so you can shut up.
Yeah, that's right.
Going on their business, huh?
Right. Here's the problem. Most of my conversations turned into confrontations. And I needed to change that back to being conversations.
Okay. I'm kind of like the one I'm working on too. One of my things is too, in which I feel as though a lot of men, because that's what I want. That's my focus base. I want to, next podcast, I want to focus totally on men, which I wanted to start this one on, but it, turned into something else, which I'm really enjoying. But my next one is going to be focused on men. And one thing that I think a lot of times that we lack is accountability.
Oh my God. So true. So true. You know why? Because we think we know it all. Mm-hmm. We think that it's all up to us. And if we don't do it right, it's on us. Mm-hmm. And you know what? Partially it is, but it's also okay to reach out and ask for help.
Yeah.
We grew up, CJ, in a time where asking for help was a weakness.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's not a weakness. It's really a strength. When you show your vulnerability to somebody, they're willing to help you because you're willing to ask for the help.
Yeah. Because, like what you say now, what you said earlier too, is that when I see you ready, that you have the will to do something, I will be there for you to help you and keep you accountable
for
what you're doing, because I believe in you. And that's, sometimes in life, that's all we need is somebody to believe in us, because a lot of times, and I know that you being in the profession that you're in, that a lot of times people can see things in you that I can't see in myself.
That's 100% right. And that's why I love this new program I'm developing, because I'm using the nuts and bolts, but I'm also using the mindset and the accountability and saying, I'm not going to give up on you if you don't give up on you. Mm-hmm. And even when you do give up on you, get ready for me to hound you. And it's not about getting the money. It's about getting you where you want to be. Mm-hmm. And if you get where you want to be, even better, because then I get the money. But that's not why I'm doing it.
Yeah. Like I heard you say that when you went to the school and you went to them about the program and everything, now it gives me a broader perspective of how, when you say that you take the risk, you reversed it, and you take the risk, and the way that you break down the payment, 12.5 here, 12.5 there, is because somebody, when you were in a position, somebody was willing to help you when you didn't have it.
That's right.
And now it's like paying it forward.
Paying it forward. Exactly right. Paying it forward.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty cool, because that shows me that you're a man that you don't forget where you come from. You're taking on your trials and tribulations head on. And although, you might have amassed this, you wrote books and you do this, that you don't look at people as their Lord than you are.
Right. there was a saying a long time ago in The Honeymooners. You know the TV show, The Honeymooners?
Jackie Gleason.
Jackie Gleason. Ed Norton told him, be kind to the people on the way up because you're going to see them on the way down.
Yeah. And that's life.
Right. But you know what? It's so true. It's a joke what he's saying it, but it's so true. If you don't when you get people is like, are you going to remember me when you're at the top? I go, I'm never going to forget you. Mm-hmm. Good or bad. Because if you gave me something bad where I was a failure and I don't like you anymore, I learned something from you. Right. And most of the time, 99% of the people out there, I've already forgiven, whether they've asked me for forgiveness or not. And whether I've said it to their face or not, I've forgiven them within inside myself because it's a burden on me when I don't forgive them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's holding me back from myself.
Mm.
So 100%, you got to remember where you started and where you are now, where you're going, and where you may end up back. Because it all going to come. Life is roller coasters. It's how big of the roller coaster are you on? I used to be on one that was to the tops, to the bottoms. Now it's kind of like this, kind of like small waves instead of crazy waves.
That and that's life, like you say, that the life experiences. I've heard something. It's a passage that say, I'm content in whatever situation I be in. You know what I'm saying? Whether I'm or down, abased or abound, I've learned to be content wherever I'm at, because if I get too high on some things, or I start thinking of myself too highly than I ought to, and I'm looking down on other folks, but not knowing that one day I can be that person.
That's right.
That could be me.
Just as easily, God will kick the legs right out from under you.
Hey, so yeah, man, that's interesting. So couple more things I like to ask you. The live incredibly full every day, the acronym IFI code. How did you come up with that? Like what, saying? What was the concept?
That's a great question. Great question, CJ. So here I am. I graduate from coaching and I get my certification because I paid off my bill.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I become a divorce recovery coach. Makes sense. I just came through a divorce and the coaching helped me get through it. God was smart. He put me into the coaching course at the same time I was going through my divorce. He had a plan, even though I didn't realize that it was his plan.
Yeah.
But now I know it's his plan.
Yeah.
And it got me through that divorce. And it got me to understand that I needed to fix my emotional roller coaster and I wanted to pass it on to others. And I did that for a few years. And even then, I still wasn't making a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
And I was working a dead-end job, a really dead-end job. And I'd get home every night and I would eat crap and I would not exercise. And one day I looked in the mirror and I was the heaviest I ever was in my life. And I couldn't even walk up a flight of stairs without breathing heavy.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, I got to do something. And a friend of mine that I went to coaching school was on Facebook. He says, I just did this program where it's 30 minutes every day video in your house. I'm like, in my house? I can wake up early. I don't have to go and buy a membership to a gym. I have somebody who I'm going to follow. It was called Sean T25, Focus T25, 25 minutes and then a couple of minutes of, cool down.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, I'm into it. And my friend said to me, I'm going to coach you on the side as well for free. Just come in, do it, and then we'll talk. And in 9 months, I lost 65 pounds. But I also started eating better, reading better, watching better things, getting coached again. And my mindset shift. And now I liked myself and I loved myself and I started dating again.
Mm-hmm.
And one day I was doing something, I got to tell you, CJ, I'm ADHD. And somebody told me you should try meditation. I'm like, okay. So I got one of those guided app meditations.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, for 10 minutes, I couldn't even like, how do people not think about anything for 10 minutes?
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. But one day I'm doing this meditation stuff and I have this download of information that I was loving my life.
Uh-huh.
And I wanted to show other people to do it too. So after this 10 minutes of meditation, I wrote for 2 hours. And out of that, I came up with the acronym LIFE. Because I was loving my life and I wanted to show how they can live incredibly full every day. And to me, that means being happy and meaningful.
Mm-hmm.
Happy is self-love, self-care, even a bit selfish. Meaningful is selfless. What are you doing for others?
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing for the world, for your community, for the person next to you? That's when you're living incredibly full every day, when you incorporate both of those things in your life.
Man, that's powerful. That's powerful. Like I say, I told you before we came on, when I saw that caught my attention. Like, wow, live life incredibly full every day. And so you breaking it down on what it actually means, man. There's a couple of things you have said today. I'm gonna put into my repertoire, man.
Beautiful. Fantastic. The first 2-3 times, give me credit. After that, it's yours.
So a couple more questions before we leave, man.
Absolutely.
So what motivates you? You say you get up every morning and you jot down 3 things that you're grateful for. So like, what motivates you and what drives you when you wake up in the morning? Is it relationships? Is it money? Yeah. Is it success? Or is it something, totally different?
Well, first thing is I got to say, I told you I started dating again as I was going through that process. And I'd go out on these dates. And I come from a small Jewish community in Brooklyn. Yeah. So, and I get a call one day from a woman saying, "Are you ready to start dating?" And I'm like, "Kelly, I know you forever. You're married." She goes, No. I'm your matchmaker. Matchmaker? What is this? Fiddler on the Roof? Should I start singing matchmaker, matchmaker, make me a match?
Yeah.
She goes, no, we keep it on the down low, but we're here to help the single people find a match.
Okay.
I'm like, all right. And she starts setting me up on dates. And I'm going out on these dates. And when I'm on these dates, I take the things I learned from coaching, like values. Mm-hmm. And I understand now what values really are. And I realized in my first marriage, our values were never aligned. Mm-hmm. And we were in a codependent relationship for 25 years.
And then they didn't know.
We didn't know what it was.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to do that again. I'm not marrying the same woman in a different body. Mm-hmm. And I go out on these dates. And one day she called me up. This is 2, 3, 4 years into it. She goes, "You got to take out this woman." She starts explaining to me. I'm like, okay, great. If you tell me, I'm going to go out with her. And she's checking off all the boxes. Mm-hmm. Next day, checking off all the boxes. A month later, I turned to her. I said, "I got to tell you something. And I don't have to hear it from you, but I'm falling in love with you because I love who you are and that I love you see me as I am and you're not trying to change me." Mm-hmm. Well, P.S. 2 years later, we got married. We've been married for almost 6 years now.
Wow. Congratulations, man.
Thank you. But all that came from, and she hears stories about the old me.
Yeah.
She's like, "I don't want to know that guy."
So let me ask a question. So I know a lot of times we change and, we put that flesh up under. And so, but our personalities and, saying what's in us is just in us. So do sometimes the old Martin, do we show up sometimes?
He does. He does.
Martin, chill.
Yeah, he does. But I got to say, where it used to be 95% of the time that old Martin shows up, now it's less than 5%.
Okay.
And when he does show up, I check on myself. I say, why is that guy showing up? Mm-hmm. What's going on? And what do I need to do to get me back to who I really want to be?
Okay.
And it's part of one of the things I teach in my course, in my book. Mm-hmm. It's having the emotional strength, building the emotional strength. And I mentioned to you, one of the things I did is I came up with, from my book, a card deck.
Yeah.
Right. And in there is a card on this. And it's about understanding, is your emotions controlling you or are you controlling your emotions?
Okay.
Right.
Yep. That's fitting.
Yeah. So, and it's about recognizing there's a difference between emotions and feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Emotion is that thing that comes right away. I'm angry.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay. What kind of anger are you? Are you pissed off? Are you enraged? Or are you just a little ticked off?
Yeah.
And now when you start to put words to it, then you go to the next level and say, why am I feeling this? Basically put yourself on trial and cross-examine. Why are you feeling this way? Did that person hurt me? Did they help me? What's going on? And then the last thing is, what am I going to do to get out of this? Am I going to react or am I going to respond? Mm-hmm. And if I react, that's thinking first and, shooting first and thinking later, asking questions. But if in a metaphor, if you shoot first and ask questions later, they're dead.
Yeah.
They don't want to talk to you.
Yeah. It's hard to talk from there.
It's hard to talk to the dead. Yeah. But, metaphorically, if you beat them up and you start yelling at them, even verbally, they're going to shut down. They're not going to want to talk to you when you calm down. Like, why should I talk to you? You're just going to yell again.
Yeah.
So it's about, but it takes time and it takes shifting and understanding that you do it once, it's okay. You do it twice, it's all right. But it needs to build on it. Yeah. And that's building that emotional strength.
Okay. I mean, that it makes perfect sense. Like you say, part of it, taking accountability, working on yourself. And,
yep.
Then after you do that and put all the pieces together, then you can start helping others as you do. So my last question is, before I let you go, man, because I really enjoyed you, man. You are hilarious.
Thank you.
Very lively. So what are some of the goals you're pursuing, and what can we expect from Martin Salama in the near future?
So one of the goals I'm pursuing is getting my message out to as many people as possible about living incredibly full every day. Mm-hmm. Because I honestly believe if you understand the power of appreciation, gratitude, and the power of a smile and making somebody laugh, that's the start of it. You shift that mindset from lack to abundance. And then what's on the horizon for me is building even more of this program that I got out there to help a lot of those coaches out there who've got some great things that they want to help people with. They want to make an impact, but they also want to make money. Let's not fool ourselves. It's not just about one or the other. Yeah. It's both. But if you say, I want to make $1 million, it's not going to happen. Mm-hmm. But you say, I want to impact millions of people and make money along the way, that's a better way to do it.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm coming from. I want to help people and make an impact.
Okay.
And that's what this program does. And, if anybody wants to find out more about me, my books or whatever, they can go to connectwithmartin.com. That's simple.
Okay. How about any of your other social media handles?
You go there, you can find it, but you can basically look for the Warriors Life Code on Instagram. I just started a TikTok page. I don't know what I'm doing there, but I'm doing it. And I'm not doing the dancing, man.
I don't do the dancing either. Well, Martin, man, it's been a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you, CJ.
You come back anytime, any of your other future projects that you're working on, man. If you want to come back on the show, man, and promote them, I'll be more than welcome. I'll be more than honored to have you on.
Thank you so much.
So, hey, I want you to stay on for a second, Martin. Hey, you have been listening to the CJ Moneyway Show with my man, Martin Salama. Hey, check it out. Peace.